Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for Rage in the Cage.
Finish him.
So strap in and join the fight in the comments below. Pick a side, Team Marq or Team J. Who will it be?
I must break you.
Rage in the Cage, baby. We've been waiting to do this.
Yeah, we have.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the segment of the show where we get into a hot take and you guys pick a side. My side, or wait, that side.
My side. It's gonna be my side.
Now listen, we love the Police Story movies, man, and I'm gonna make my case. I'm gonna just start off right off the bat. I'm gonna make my case why Police Story is Jackie Chan's best movie, and it's the best movie in the whole all the Police Story movies. Okay, you couldn't ask for a better fucking opening. Okay, it does not waste any time. You go into the police squad there, and they're talking about what the mission is, who they're gonna arrest, who the suspects are, and they don't waste time, and they set up the plan. They go undercover and they set up the plan into that shack town, and then it just goes batshit crazy from there. And so many movies have copied. Every action movie's taken a page off a Police Story. In the very beginning, where the cars are driving through the shack town, it's absolutely freaking amazing. And then you see Jackie Chan get dragged by a bus. What better way to open a movie? Not just open a movie, but open a series. And then the plot's right there, and the action's just insane. And then, of course, you see another side of Jackie Chan where he's trying to do the right thing. He's a cop. He's trying to make this arrest happen. And he's trying to please his girlfriend, who's a pain in the ass. By the way, Maggie Chung was so hot back in the day. Jackie Chan knows how to pick a leading actress. Can we just say that right off the bat? Watch these old Jackie Chan flicks. He knows how to pick a leading actress in his movies. Anyway, moving on. I love how all the execution of Police Story. I love how it's executed. I love all the stunt work. I love the story. And I love the finale. The fight in the mall. All the broken glass. And then Jackie Chan doing one of those crazy stunts. Jumping off the top of the balcony under the stream of lights in the mall. And electrocuting himself and falling into a display case. What a goddamn finale. And I don't think any of his movies have matched ever since. Marq, come on. Bring it.
All right. So I'm going to give you the opening, right? Like, I agree with you on that. So I think that the way that opens, the way that it kind of like
Team J, come on, Team J.
It is. I will give you that. That is sort of a template for a lot of great action movies that sort of came after it, right? I'll also give you that, this kind of set a template for that style of action. It's Hallmark Jackie Chan with a lot of great stunts, great effects.
Yes.
You've got a great cast in him and Maggie Chung, a few of the right. So, you've made some very good points, but I'm going to still stick with my pick, Supercop.
Okay. Because
number one, I think the stunts are bigger. I think the action is bigger. I think that it gives you a much more cogent, an easier to understand narrative. I think the villain in that, Chaibot, is a great villain. In Kenneth Chang, he does a fantastic performance. But more important than all of that is that I think this is the first and possibly only movie that Jackie Chan gets a female counterpart who does all of the same level of stunts, same level of martial arts, and looks good doing it. And I'm talking about the incomparable queen of martial arts, Michelle Yeoh. So for people who are not familiar, if you're not familiar, you might know her from a James Bond film that came out called was it Die Another Day?
No, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. That's the one. So Tomorrow Never Dies.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Right, and that's the one that I think a lot of people would be more familiar with. That sort of introduced the West to her. Yeah. But as far as me and my friends that are really into martial arts films, we sort of discovered her out of that movie, and then she did a string of other films after that, Wing Chun, The Heroic Trio, Tai Chi Master with Jet Li. But in this movie, she really shines, and for every stunt, every kick, every punch that Jackie Chan throws, I mean, she's keeping up with him. And the fight choreography in this film is fantastic. I think just like the timing, the pacing, the comedy between the two of them, because they're undercover as brother and sister. So they have this brother sister dynamic, but then underlying that is sort of the politics that are going on at the time, because Jackie Chan's from Hong Kong and Michelle Yeoh's character's from mainland China. And so Right. And so there's sort of that underlying tension between the two of them based off that. Yeah. I mean, I think that when you put all of those things together, it's arguably one of his best films, and that's saying a lot, because this guy,
I still like the first one better.
Right. And, and to each his own. Yeah. But I honestly think that Supercop, I not only do I think it's the best out of the Police Story series, it's the best out of any Jackie Chan movie that I've seen, period. And I know that's a tall claim, but that's really how I feel about it. It's a fantastic
I love everything you just said, but I'm going to counter you again. Okay. So as you were right. I love Michelle Yeoh in that movie, and she adds that dynamic to it. And I love the whole them being undercover the whole time, which is pretty cool.
Right.
But this is where the movie, I feel like, not fails, but like comes up short. Now, if you're watching it as a standalone movie, you may not know this, but you got to reiterate that this is a part 3 of this Police Story timeline. So in this third movie, that Supercop, Maggie Chung is pretty much shoved to the side. Like, she really doesn't make that big of an impact like she does in the first 2 movies. Same with his Bill Tung and his character, his boss there, and the superintendent. Like, they're nowhere to be found in part 3. I mean, Bill Tung's in there a little bit undercover. It's kind of a funny scene where he's like the old lady, and then his fake boobs fall out from the dress. I mean, that stuff's... But I'm just saying that he didn't play the same role that he did in the first 2 movies. And then, of course, the superintendent was nowhere to be found. So I just feel like Supercop 3, as great as the action is, the story elements are kind of lacking that were the first 2 movies had. Like, number 2 is a great continuation of part 1, and then part 3, as great as the action is, some of the story is just a little bit out of place. And again, I love, like what you just said, the stunt works is great. Jackie Chan hanging from the helicopter and Michelle Yeoh doing the motorcycle jump onto the train is freaking great. But literally, like anybody who's a fan of like Quentin Tarantino movies, if you Kill Bill, there's a line in Kill Bill where the bride says, "I would have jumped a motorcycle onto a speeding train for you." That is a direct reference to Supercop. Okay, yeah, well, anyway, I was just gonna say that I just feel like in part 1. You get more of the hand-to-hand combat. I just feel like the tension and the finale, the build-up was just done so much better. Again, in the first movie, we see Jackie Chan dragged by a bus and electrocuted and cut by glass, falling from dangerous heights, and it's just an all to watch. And I just feel in my heart of hearts, as much as I love all the Police Story movies, the first is the best. Everything that you just said, Mark, I still can't put above Police Story 1.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree. So, anybody in the chat, let us know. Let us know whose side are you on.
That's okay. Watch these movies, but right now, if you're going into this, like, are you Team Mark or Team J in this situation? Come on, let us know. Come on, people. Come on. Team J all the way.
Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live! Ah!